Okay. So what am I working on here? Well, I took this piece of copper tubing because I worked with my son to make a squirrel house, which you'll see later. And the little problem is it's not quite waterproof. I need to build a ridge cap for the top of the little house. It's sort of like an extended birdhouse, which you'll see, like I said, later. But to get it to work, I need to work this piece of copper tubing and make it into that ridge cap. So instead of round, I want it to be set up with basically a V shape. And I'm working with something that's a little heavier than like standard copper sheeting would be, which would be easier because this is scrap and it's here, and why not? Well, bits of work. I'm going to flex it out and make shapes out of it. It's also not very soft. The copper hasn't been worked very much. The more you work the copper, the softer it gets. Right now it's not very soft and it's fighting and all those fun things which you'd expect. So I'm going to bring it out to about a fairly flat sheet, even if it's a little bashed up. It is a squirrel house. I don't care if it's a little beat up around the edges. I care that it's open enough to let me hammer it flat and then shape it a bit more in the shape that I want it. Now, if I had two of these wide bendy tools, I would use them, but I don't. So I'm using a pair of vice grips kind of lightly applied. And yeah, it's putting tooth marks on it, but again, it's a squirrel house. It'll be outside in the backyard. The copper's going to green up as it oxidizes. So it'll be fine. Cool. That's probably enough that I can start to anvilate on it right there. So let us take it down soft with this hammer. Turn it around here. Okay. Softening it up a little bit. Not drop the grinder on the floor. Okay, so I sawed the copper tubing in half, so I have an abraded edge right here. The best way to fix that and make it less abraded is going to probably be a little mini sander. So I'm going to get the pad sander that runs on air and use it. Ow. Trying to get all this crap out here. Pain. Alright, little air action. I gotta get this little pad off. Change it over to a light sanding disc. Abused one will work fine, which I have. Right here. air it up. Compressor in the background. Okay. Now what I want to do, let's do it right. I need to mark to bend it. They really should be in the middle. So I'm going to measure width of it, which is just over 65 millimeters. So 32 and a half, 33 will be about right. Center. And just over 60 half. So, or 65 and a half, sorry. So 33-ish. About in the center. Mark I can work with. Make a bend. Okay. So now I'm going to line it up, get a bend started. You always want to leave just a little bit above the line because the bend is never quite perfect. So I use these as they do a pretty good job of getting me very close. Maybe down just a hair. Yeah, down on the wrong end, of course. There we go. And we'll bend it a bit more. Now, the tool gets in the way down here on the anvil, or vise, whatever. So I got to start knocking down the cleaner. Isn't that nice? I'm not going for a full 45 because the system isn't out there at a full 45. Once you get the bend partway started, it tends to naturally continue the bend where you started it. Now I've got copper hood, a little bit better shape. Okay, so now what we do is we take a walkabout and we go look at, and there's our squirrel hut. It needs that, and that is about perfect there and a little too bent back here, but pulled down, properly nailed in, it should actually work reasonably well. Okay, so I want to take a slight bit of bend out of the back of it there. All I really need to do is very lightly tap on the top of it, and that should open it up a little bit. That's cool. Alright, so I'm going to want to tack it on. This copper strip is thick enough that you're not going to drive nails through it, so it has to be pre-drilled. So I'm going to tap it with a drill here. Open it up. Okay, I got a little drill. I want it about beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, middle, end. Okay, so now I've got holes drilled in it, and I need to go mount it, but we got to find something appropriate as a mounting nail. And I got no idea whether I got any tiny little nails that'll work good for this. I probably don't. All I want is light roofing nails, or light nails. I do not want aluminum and copper mixed together. That would equal a battery. And the steel and copper is kind of off too, but I can get little tiny panel nails out of this collection somewhere. So what it should show is me behind it. Put the little copper cap on. We'll take our 4 screws. Wow, do I have a lot of screws here. Nails, sorry. And we drive it down as far as we can. Okay. Just poking its nose through on the bottom. Need a little more angle than that. That's one of the problems. What are you going to do? And I'll put the third one over here. Okay, so the squirrel hut also has another feature. The bottom is screwed on, so we can mount it. But Daddy had to put this on. It got wet inside. So you decided to spray it in purple today, huh? And I had to make those little nails, and I got to grind those little nails off so nobody's getting caught on them. So we hold up a minute, and Daddy go gets a grinder. Actually, we go inside, and Daddy grinds there. Take the grinder. Put the picture on what I'm doing, son. Son. Picture on what I'm doing.
It is on.
No, it isn't. Up here's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna grind those nail heads off. Okay? No more way to get bit by nails. Okay? Now comes the fun part. To mount this out in the weeds, we need to take the base off and screw it to the post. So what we're going to do is we're going to take them 4 screws out. But first I'm going to do this. The post is up in the front, so I'm going to want to mount it roughly about here on the 4-inch square post. Okay, that'll cover a 4-by-4-inch square post. Now, let's go take a look at where we got to put this. Alright, watch. We're going to go back, we're going to take the bottom off. We're going to go out and we're going to take a couple tools with us. Keep going backwards, son. Okay, come over here. Okay. I need to reach into the tool collection and I need another battery. Batteria. Thank you. Okay. Take our screws. This is intended to make the squirrel house, make the squirrel house cleanable. But since we can take the base off, now I can go over there. You see the 4 holes. All I have to do is mount the plate, then take the house out there and mount it. To mount the house, we're going to use these screws here. Wow. If I drop them on the floor, that always makes it work better. Ooh, okie dokie. And I need to do a change in head to drive those screws because it uses a Torx bit rather than the standard bit that's in there right now, which is Phillips. Okay, so we take these 4 screws, this thing, and a couple of other little pieces so we can peel off the excess wood. We need a little claw hammer is outside, of course. Really don't need the overkill one. We'll take this one with us. Oh. We'll finish the squirrel house. I don't know. Noises out the back. So once upon a time,
that was a birdhouse.
There was a birdhouse out here. I want to carefully lay them down there for a moment. And I don't really need the original screws and stuff that were on there. So I'm going to gently removerate that one. Removerate that one. Post is still solid, he said. It's solid enough. Now, I need access to the screws, just enough that I can get to the squirrel hut. And then I need to drive in the screws that lock down. Can you see me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Going backwards, let's go forward. Okay, now that's one screw in. It's tipped slightly forward, which is good because that means water will tend to run out of it. That's 2. 3 and 4 will go in next. 3. 4 is looking awfully close. Let's tilt that in slightly. Okay. Kick it out, put it back together, and we grab these 4 screws that we set up and house. And we go attach a house. Now the squirrel hut with front porch. He said. Now I gotta line it up with its original hole. Come here. You don't have to be evil about it. It's not lining up. Why are you not lining up? Look at the wrong way, Corrigan. Okay, so that should be tight. Dang. Oh well, drop the screw. Don't think that's going to be fine with one of them leaves. We'll survive.
You want me to get another one?
We'll look for it just a sec, son. Ah, there it is. Amazing. Good luck today. Okay, another hole. Scoop that one up. And then take the bottom of this one. And we come in right about there. And we have a squirrel house. All together. A big hut for squirrels. Now all we need to do is put a little spike here and a corn cob.
A spike?
Yeah. The squirrels like the corn on the cob. So they'll jump up here and eat the corn on the cob and maybe know that the house is open.
Are we gonna get the corn?
I'm sorry?
Are we gonna get the corn?
I have to get some. I don't have any.
There's some in the house.
Not corn that I can use there. I need dry corn on the cob. So, it's all good. All right.